everyone, it's Mike here. Welcome to this newest episode of High Heels of Bitcoin series. My guest today is Wendy O, and to be honest, I am pretty excited to perform this interview. Wendy O, or rather Crypto Wendy O, is technical analyst. She uploads her YouTube videos, she posts on Twitter. To be honest, I am pretty excited and I may say I have goosebumps. So let's not keep you waiting. Thumbs up and let's go.
Hey everyone, it is Crypto Wendy O here. I am a YouTuber, I do media, I do events, all different types of things in crypto. And thank you so much, Mike, for having me on.
All right, so I have prepared a couple of questions for you. So let's go through them one by one. All right, let's find out, how did your adventure start? How did you find out about crypto, about blockchain?
So I initially heard about it back in 2011. I had a family member living with me at that time, and he had asked my husband and I, he's like, can I borrow your credit card to buy Bitcoin? Because he was a gamer, he's a super techie guy. He was like building computers, doing all kinds of stuff. And we're like, no, I don't think so. This is weird. And I don't even think my husband and I had credit cards at that time because we were trying to like get our life together and whatever. So I was like, no, this is weird. So then I kept hearing about it on libertarian radio because I am a libertarian. So I kept hearing about Bitcoin libertarian radio, and I was in a transition time in my life where I was ready to quit my job. I had just had my daughter, I had postpartum depression, and I was like, I started looking into stocks because I was like, maybe I could trade stocks, maybe I can do this at home. I was kind of looking into buying a donut shop or like a bar. Like I wanted to do something. I know I needed a change. And then I was going back to school full time, and then stocks were kind of complicated for me to understand. I have no idea why. But then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to invest in this Bitcoin stuff. And I remember holding my daughter. I was home that day with her. She was like screaming. My postpartum was like going crazy. So I called my husband. I was like, I'm buying Bitcoin. I'm investing. And he's like, okay. So then I bought like $1,000 of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then like, I think then a little bit of Litecoin too. And then I just kind of fell down the rabbit hole from there. And I taught myself how to trade, and it started to become a very fun adventure, and there's a lot of opportunities in crypto.
So do you trade stocks to this day, or it's just crypto?
No, just crypto right now. When I first started, I was trading lots of altcoins because I got in at the end of November 2017 when the market was like going super, super crazy. So it was a lot easier to trade alts. Right now, it's a little bit harder because the market, I mean, you're still able to trade alts. I just am kind of focusing on trading Bitcoin at this time. Just because the market is so volatile with alts, and it's like you really have to be paying a lot of attention. And my time right now is kind of stretched out over all these different things. So it's easier for me just to kind of trade Bitcoin and to focus on trading one thing at a time. There are some alts that I do invest in, but mostly it's just Bitcoin right now.
Yeah, to be honest, I've been waiting for this interview because do you call yourself technical analyst?
Yeah, I do TA. I do TA. I do charts. I am actually trading. People are like, oh, you're a girl, you don't really trade. I'm like, no, I really do trade. I don't trade with a lot of money like some of these other people. I'm not trading with like multiple Bitcoins because my risk level is not that. I have a 3-year-old daughter and a family that I have to be concerned about. And $8,000 right now, one whole Bitcoin is a lot of money. That is like a fourth of my old salary when I had my full-time job. So I trade with like smaller amounts, anywhere between like $100 and $1,000, with low leverage, of course. And that just fits my risk level, and I'm just having fun and all that good stuff.
The reason I ask, because to be honest, I am not a believer. I do not believe in technical analysis, and then I want to talk more about it. But you have mentioned leverage. Do you use 100 or smaller?
No. I'll do anywhere between like 1 to 10 if I'm feeling really saucy that day. But generally it's like three. I love that like 3 times. And some people say technical analysis doesn't work, and that's totally fine. I respect that opinion, but I do have a math degree, and a lot of technical analysis, a lot of the indicators is derived from math and moving averages and all that different type of stuff. And math is pretty accurate. So I am a firm believer in math. I'm a firm believer in using some of the different indicators, just as long as you know how they work and know why they work, and understand that some of them are lagging indicators and they're not 100% correct. It's just kind of guiding us and telling us where the market could go. So I think it's important just to have a basic understanding with indicators. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, you have mentioned the most important thing in this, because it shows you where it can go, and people believe that they can predict the price on Bitcoin in the 2025 using technical analysis.
Well, some people think that they can. I don't necessarily know if that is true or not. I'm still very new. I've only been trading for about 2 years now. I still do have a lot to learn. But I kind of just focus on the daily price action and like weekly price action. And I try not to get too ahead of myself. Obviously, I would love for Bitcoin to get to 100,000, 200,000, $1 million. I'd be really happy. But at the end of the day, it's more of, it's just more of, I'm just trying to accumulate and stack those sats right now.
Yeah, I try to tell the people that technical analyst or TA, it may work, because if enough people believe that something will happen, it will happen. So
maybe it depends. Sometimes
yeah,
it depends.
Sometimes, because that's why I don't agree, because some TAs they always try to tell to people, okay, I have predicted this price of this Bitcoin, and then I say, imagine I am a very rich person, I am like Bill Gates, and then I say, all right, I don't like this guy, I will play against him. When he says it will rise, I will sell my Bitcoins, and when he says it will drop, I will buy. So basically, having enough of money, it's not like the stocks. You can buy as much Bitcoin as you want. No one will control you. Yeah, of course you have to use exchanges. You can use OTC market and things like that. But you can basically buy or do. Having enough money, you can do anything basically.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends. It's kind of a guide that we use. So some people don't believe in it, and I respect that opinion, but I believe in it and I use it and I do okay. So
yeah, of course, I fully respect your position, because it's not like I make fun, because it's like I'm when we try to predict the price of Bitcoin, I do my Sunday live streams, and there are some YouTubers, of course, in Polish, because I'm Polish. And we try to predict the price of Bitcoin for the next week, next Sunday, and see who's closer to the to the goal. And then when I start drawing those things, of course, it has nothing to do with TA, because I call it not technical analysis. I call it technological. And then I start drawing the chart, and then it turns back in time, and people see, what the hell are you doing? It doesn't work that way. And I tell to them, so you didn't realize that I was making jokes? You believe it works? But to be honest, some guy tried to play with my charts, and he won. So
yeah, it's each to their own. Everyone's got their own methods that they use, and if it works for you and it makes you money, then hey, do it.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't have the time to trade, because I have my normal job, and brings me money. I have my YouTube channel, I have to record videos, I have to interact with my audience, so I don't have time to see all those charts. To be honest, I admire you. It's not like I make fun of you. Yes, I admire you. I have seen your videos, and the most important thing is that, just like if you said, you must realize there are no guarantees.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it may happen, but it don't have to happen. So
exactly, yeah, but might as well use some. If you have a technique that that has been proven to work for you, let's say 60% of the time, then that's better than just kind of saying, oh, I'm going to buy here and expect this to do this. So it's a good kind of, and it's also good. Because I took a lot of math classes, and I used to hate math, but then I learned to love it, because math is like repetition. You do, let's say for calculus, you're taking a derivative, you're doing the same problem over and over again, or a word problem. You solve it basically the same exact way. And with technical analysis, it forces your brain to think and to kind of look at all these different things. Like obviously you have your, some people use 3 indicators or three methods, that if X, Y, and Z do a certain thing, then it's bullish, or if X, Y, and Z do something, it's bearish. So it kind of forces you to analyze and to use your brain. So I like that aspect of it. It challenges me, and I like to be challenged.
Do you have any favorite indicators like RSI or stochastic or MACD?
Yeah, so what I do is I just started using EMAs on my exponential moving averages. I like those because they tend to be a little bit faster than the moving averages. Sometimes I use Bollinger Bands, sometimes I use stochastic or MACD or volume, like different things like that. So I kind of rotate through them, and I post all my analysis on Twitter, or I'll stream it on YouTube. So I'm very honest with what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I kind of go through and explain it to people as simple as possible, because maybe there's some people out there that need help, and maybe I'm able to help them. So it's part of the content that I do, and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay, all right. Let's move to another question. Do you only trade, or like, do you invest more money, or it's like you have invested once and now you try to trade to get more?
What I do is I do trade to get more sats, but it's a very small percentage of my actual portfolio. I do have Bitcoin that I do hodl, and I will like purchase more, and then I do marketing and consulting in this space. I also do events, so I do get paid in cryptocurrency. So I do have to cash some of that out for my expenses, and then sometimes there's like a certain percentage depending on what the job is, and I'll kind of hodl onto for a while. So it just really depends. But majority of my portfolio I am hodling, and it's very small amount that I actually am trading and whatnot, just because that's my risk. And sometimes people on Twitter will get upset about that. They're like, oh, you don't have enough skin in the game. But at the end of the day, like, I have a family, and I have my daughter's future I need to plan for. I'm not going to be trading with these crazy large stacks. And it's just, I just want to do what's comfortable for me, because there's also an important aspect of trading, which is the psychological aspect. And sometimes when you're trading with a lot of money, it can make you do cuckoo things. And I want to make sure that what I'm trading with is I'm okay with losing. God forbid that happens, but I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Yeah, and you have said the very important thing. You don't have to risk everything, because some people tell me you either use 100 leverage, or you don't use it at all. It's stupid, because just like you said, you up to 10 or maybe 12, right? No,
anywhere between 3 to 5, 2 to 3, sometimes 5, and sometimes 10 if I'm really feeling confident. But it's just that everybody's got different risk factors. Like, I grew up poor. $1,000 is a lot of money to me. That's like one I want to say I was making like $500 a week after taxes and healthcare and all that stuff. So $1,000 is a lot. I'm not going to just like trade frivolously with that. I can go to the dollar store and buy 1,000 things.
Yeah, so it's not like you have to you have to be a millionaire in a month. So it's not
right.
not that attitude. It's very healthy, because people are too greedy. I think the greed is your greatest enemy. Of course, emotions. Yeah, do you agree that emotions may?
Yes, no, emotions are a big play into it as well. You just, I do my best trades when I'm at home and when it's quiet, and I'm not like looking at any other noise, and I'm just kind of focusing on what I'm doing, because there's so many psychological aspects to it, and you got to do what works for you and what you feel comfortable with doing.
Yeah, there is a saying in Poland that you don't go to a grocery store hungry, because you will because you will buy much.
Italians say that too.
It may be worldwide, so.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, so there's emotions and the psychology and the greed, and don't trade when you're tired, when you're hungry, when you're sleepy, or when you have distractions. Like I was in a short, and I want to say entered my short around like around 8,900, and my daughter was in the room, and I had my Bybit open, and I was like kind of looking at it. I was like, should I adjust my stop? And she started screaming, something happened, and I accidentally closed my position out. So it's best to trade when there's no distractions and you can focus. So I learned a good lesson. So no more, when she's here with me, because she's 3 now, she's starting to get into more and more things. So, it's something I'm not going to be doing when she is around.
Yeah, and you took her to Las Vegas, right?
Yes, I did. I brought my husband. My husband comes with me to quite a few conferences when he can, because he does own his own business. So sometimes he's able to get out. And then I was able to bring my daughter, because it was Las Vegas, and she was old enough to go. She's still very young to bring to a conference, but I was happy I was able to bring her, because she gets to see what mommy does for work. Why, mommy's always live streaming, mommy's on Twitter, mommy's on the phone with clients. So she gets to kind of see all that. And I was happy to have her, because I talk about her a lot on Twitter, but I don't post pictures of her because there's some weirdos there. So I was happy to have her meet people and just spend time with her, because when I'm gone, when I'm traveling and she's home with my mom watches her generally for me, I miss her, and it's hard for me. So to actually have her there, I was really happy about that, because I got to go home to her every night and hug her and kiss her, put her to bed, and it was a cool experience.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite coins or tokens?
So I do work for a project called Monetary Unit, and I like what we are doing. And I like to swing trade Raven. Raven is fun, and I am stacking and accumulating Ethereum because I do think Ethereum is going to be around for a while. And but right now, just the way what the market has been, I just really kind of focusing on Bitcoin right now as far as trading it and whatnot, because I do actually trade, and so those are some of the projects that I'm interested in whatnot.
So I assume that you believe that Bitcoin will reach its new all-time high.
I hope.
I hope you hope, but do you think it will?
I think it will. I think that it's a very speculative asset. And some people are not going to like this opinion I have, but I don't think Bitcoin is going to be the currency that is going to solve the world's problems. I think it's going to essentially be more like the gold standard, because I do believe value will increase over time because we have the limited supply, and we do have and but there's problems with it, like the transaction speeds are very slow. Like somebody sent me some Bitcoin the other day and it took like 5 hours to confirm, and somebody sent me Ethereum the other day and it took me like 30 seconds to confirm. So I do think that there's going to be another currency that could possibly replace fiat. I don't know if the government will let us or not, but of course I would like to see Bitcoin break all-time high. That would make me very happy. My daughter would be very happy too, because I took all of her savings that my husband and I had saved for her. It wasn't a whole lot, but I went ahead and bought her some Bitcoin, and that's on a ledger put away safely for her.
I think Bitcoin will reach its new all-time high. I don't think it will happen in 2020, but I think it will happen in 2021.
Okay.
My personal, how do you call it, prognose or type is like 10 or 20 times higher than the last all-time high. So it will be like between 200,000 or $400,000. I don't think it will reach 1 million, but Bitcoin will do what it will do. And of course, I agree completely with you, because Bitcoin became so huge. The hash power of this network is so huge, and it became business, big mining farms. And some people don't want to change that because they have cheap electricity, and they don't want to change, because if Bitcoin becomes faster, if Bitcoin becomes more efficient, then people will pay less fees, and then of course they will.
Yeah, there's all these different types of factors that play with that. And a lot of people don't understand too, when trading, you need to kind of talk to the miners and understand some of the mining economics. There was a time period, I want to say last December, or maybe before that, but it was right before we broke through. I want to say it was like the 5,800 threshold. And I work with an OTC desk. I do a lot of meetups with them, and they were saying, because they help miners liquidate their holdings, and they were saying, price is not going to, if price does break through here, it's going to screw up a lot of stuff for the miners, because that they would not be making a profit if it drops below that. So a lot of people don't take into mining economics, and that's something I try to stay mindful of, especially with Bitcoin. So what happened was we kept bouncing on that support. We kept hitting it. And then eventually we broke through it. And when we broke through it, a lot of the miners that he was assisting, they shut their mining farms down because they couldn't afford to keep mining because of the cost. So those are mining economics is something a lot of people don't talk about, but it's important to know a little bit about. So always have some friends that are miners.
Yes, of course, because it's always the weakest link that breaks first. So when the Bitcoin price drops, when it dropped to $3,000, some people thought, all right, it's the end. It's the end. Bitcoin will never rise. Miners will turn off their gear. But I always tell to people that some miners have really cheap in China, in Russia, even in New York or in Canada. They have really cheap energy. So it's like you cannot mine Bitcoin in home. But there will always be some huge farms with cheap electricity that will mine it, and if some people will disconnect their gear, the difficulty will drop and the profits will rise. So I don't think.
There's also some speculation that some miners are manipulating the market, that they are pumping and dumping the price because to kind of knock other people out. So there's that. I don't know really enough about it to comment too much, but I do hear things in the background sometimes from different people. But that is something to kind of keep in mind too, is, we've got the miners that are there. They're a very, very, very important part of our ecosystem. They kind of keep things going for us.
Yeah, all right. Let's talk more about events, about meetings. You have mentioned Las Vegas meeting, and you have mentioned that you run some meetings. Can you tell me more about it?
Oh yeah, I've done over 4 dozen meetups in the last 2 years. All my meetups have always been free. Sometimes they get sponsors, sometimes they don't have sponsors, but I do these meetups. I first started doing TA basics meetups, and what that is I would sit in the front of the room and I would have my laptop up and we would talk about the basic indicators and let people ask questions. And we would kind of go around the room and people would talk and they would ask questions. I would ask questions. So it was a very interactive, informative. People would come up and like pull their stuff up as well. So it was really cool. So I started doing those meetups and then I was like, I'm going to start doing a networking meetup. We need to do something. So we started doing networking, or I started doing networking meetups as well. And those were always a big hit. So I throw those monthly in Los Angeles. And then when I travel to conferences, I try to work with the conferences to provide free meetups to everyone. All my meetups are always free, regardless if I have a sponsor or not. And sometimes people have to pay for their own food and drink. Sometimes I'm able to get sponsors, which is really cool. But I love hosting them. I love bringing people together. I'm half Italian, and that's what we do. We have big family, we have big family dinners and stuff like that. I like meeting people and bringing the community together. So it's a passion, kind of like a passion project of mine. It's kind of just to bring people together. And sometimes it's intimidating to ask people stuff online. You get nervous or people are mean online, but in person, everybody seems to be pretty nice and, accepting. So I like doing these meetups for that purpose, to kind of, invite people and they can come, they can bring their moms or their kids or their parents or whatever, just kind of come hang out.
Yes, I completely agree. There are some keyboard warriors. People are very courageous behind their screens, behind their computers. Yeah,
Yes.
and when they meet you in person, I have never had any. I have a lot of haters. I don't give a damn, but I have a lot of them. People hate me because many different things. Sometimes even because I make fun of technical analysis. And then when they meet me in person, I don't know. Maybe it's because I am 240 pounds of weight. So maybe it's that, or maybe it's just when we meet face to face, even with
It's different.
yeah, maybe we don't have to agree, but we can respect each other and we can talk. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up running around on the streets, and and there's a respect factor that comes to it when on the streets and on when you meet somebody face to face. There's things you do and there's things you don't do. Most people were taught manners growing up, and when you get to be anonymous behind an account on Twitter or whatever, you tend to pop off. But in real life, that doesn't happen because there's actual consequences that happen when you do that. You can get in trouble by the law, or there's physical altercations, or just because you feel uncomfortable. So there's just it's kind of different because there's actual repercussions for your actions. So it just depends. And God bless the keyboard warriors, but they do provide free marketing, so why not?
Yeah, I am old enough to remember that there was no internet, there were no cell phones, and we
Right.
had to solve our problems. I'm 39, so we had to solve our problems on our own. We
Mm-hmm.
met locally, so yeah, I completely agree that screen. But the interesting thing happened in Poland because there was this. UFC in Poland we call it MMA. I don't know if US you also call it MMA. I think it's UFC. And there was this guy full of tattoos, pretty scary. And there was this one of his haters. He was shouting at him and calling him names and things like that. And this guy found him, and he tried to show him that you cannot be completely anonymous. And
Right.
when he arrived to his home, uh, this guy opened his doors and he told him, "Okay, tell me one more time. Tell it to my face." And he
Ay,
was like
ay.
13-year-old kid. So he just almost shit his pants when he
Well,
saw.
yeah. Yeah, no, that happens. Like yeah, people are wild. They get wild on the internet, and that's
Yeah.
fine, whatever. I've kind of grown thicker skin now to understand that, people are gonna dislike you for various reasons, and that's fine. That's their opinion, and I just kind of block them and move on. So I've had maybe a couple problems with people like in real life that I've met from like crypto Twitter, but other than that, it's been very mellow for the most part. So I'm blessed.
Yeah, to be honest, I try to teach that to myself, that I don't have to react to all those comments because it's very hard for me not to interact even with my haters.
Right.
But people told me don't interact with them because.
Yeah, you just ignore them. And the thing is, there's Shooter Jennings. He did a podcast, and it's kind of like about some different types of stuff. But one of the things that he talked about like stalkers and like different type of stuff and like how people snap and what happens. And he's like a lot like there is this there was this, I can't remember the actress's name, but there was an actress and she got fan mail. And so she would, always respond to all the fan mail, send it back and like put hearts or whatever. Well, this one guy that was like obsessed with her, he saw that the hearts and like thought that like they had like a romantic thing. So he actually went and found her and ended up murdering her. And stuff like that. So you have to keep in mind that there are crazy people out there. So sometimes it is better just to not respond to them or just mute them and block them, because sometimes when you engage with them, and even by blocking them, that can trigger people too. Like, I'm not saying every single troll is sick like that, but there are some crazy sick people out like that, and you do have to keep that into account.
Yes, to be honest, I know what you mean, because there was this guy who called me on Facebook, and I have answered his call, and he was telling him about Satan, about things like that. I cannot forget this because
yeah, don't answer those calls. I have mine turned off because I'm like, I do not want to speak to you. Like, and that's why now too, like, I don't answer private DMs from people unless it's somebody that I know, because I get people send me really, really disgusting, like weird things. So like I have a Telegram group, and if people want to talk to me, they can talk to me in the Telegram group. Or if it's like a company that wants to speak with me about a business opportunity, they can email me, and then I, deal with it that way. But I don't do private DMs anymore because people are weird, and then they'll manipulate it. They'll Photoshop. They do all kinds of weird stuff. So I'm just like, I'm not in the mood. I don't have time or patience for you and your drama.
Yes, of course. All right, let's talk about YouTube. So do you have favorite people you watch on YouTube? Obviously, you have your own YouTube channel.
Yes, watch my YouTube channel, comment, subscribe, like, set alerts, all that good stuff. No, I know a lot of the crypto YouTubers, and so many are so amazing. Like Crypto Zombie is amazing. Crypto Love is awesome. BitBoy is a good friend of mine. Crypto Stash. There's quite a few of them, and Omar Bam, Crypto News. So I love all the crypto YouTubers. I'm friends with most of them, at Altcoin News, and then FUD TV. I'm friends with most of these guys, and they're just good people. So go like and subscribe to all their channels.
Yeah, of course, and you can find Wendy's social media links below in the video description. So make sure you follow her on every social media.
Yes, I'm on quite a few. Scary.
Yeah, all right, and now let's talk about crypto Twitter, because this is the question I always ask, because I always try to find more girls to do interviews with. So, so do you have a favorite crypto profiles on Twitter?
I want to say like I follow about 400 different people. I like the shit posters. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy their stuff as well a lot because it's fun. They keep things light. So anybody I follow, I enjoy their content. I like original content. I love to watch, look at other people's charts and some of the traders. So if it's basically anybody that I'm following on Twitter, they're accounts that I enjoy, or I know, and most of them I've met in real life.
Wow. I cannot say the same about me, because it's not like I have met like maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 people in real life.
Yeah, I met a lot of them. So most of them I've met in real life. I've hung out with them. So, I'll follow them. And, just as long as people are posting good content and they're not complete jerks and with the shit posting, then I'm with it.
Yeah, all right. You are a mother of a 3-year-old. So how do you find time? Because 3-year-old kids need more attention, or my son is 13, so it's not like
he's like go away, dad.
Oh, maybe not that bad, but yeah.
So I might, because I go to school. If I'm in school full time, I'm doing that as well. So my daughter does go to daycare sometimes. Sometimes she goes to Nana's house. So I do have help. My husband is an amazing dad and does a lot. Like, he works his ass off. He works very long days. He comes home and he just wants to spend time with her. So we just kind of coordinate. We work together as a team to do, to make sure that she's cared for and stuff. But my husband does understand that this is my job. This is what I'm doing right now. And he supports me. And then, my mom helps out just a tiny bit. And, she goes to daycare, and daycare is good because she's going to go to school one day, and I don't want her to send her off to school without, having social interaction stuff. But I spend a lot of time with her. I'm with her a lot. We spend a lot of time together. And sometimes, I have to sit her in front of her tablet and let her watch her tablet and watch her. She loves Outlaw Country, Old Country. So she'll watch that while I take care of emails or do whatever. So, it's a give and take, but also too, it's when I was working my other job, I was working 4 10-hour shifts a week. I was commuting over 3 hours. So I would have to be up at like 5 in the morning. I would have to get up, get her ready. We would leave by 6, I would drop her off at my mom's, and then I would drive 2 hours to work. I would be there by like 9:30. I was there until 7 p.m. and then I wouldn't get home till like 8 or 9 p.m. at night. So I would barely see my daughter. And now I do work a lot and I am very busy, but I get to spend a lot more time with her.
Yeah, it's a very important thing, and I completely agree that daycare is a very good thing because children can interact with each other. So it's like my father was the main enemy of daycare, of kindergarten, because he thought my son should have nanny because nanny is the best, and I said no nannies. He will have to go and play with other children. And when my father saw the progress he was making, he changed from
I mean, nannies are great if you could afford them. I can't afford one, but still though, I like that she goes to a daycare. She goes to a very, very good facility, and it's good. I'm happy to see her with other kids because it helps with their communication, it helps them with sharing, it helps them learn. Like I spend a lot of time, both my husband and I, we spend a lot of time with her. My daughter does baby signing. She can count up to, I want to say 50 now. And we're trying to teach her like some other languages. So we do spend a lot of time with her, a lot of reading, a lot of music. She's got all these different musical instruments. So we spend a lot of time with her. And then the daycare helps too. It's good for her. It keeps her mind busy.
So you have mentioned you're half Italian. So do you speak Italian?
No, so I'm like third generation, but right. I know people outside of America, they make fun of us, but to me, I'm half Italian on my mother's side. My father's side, they're Jewish, they're Romanian and German. And it's very important, like the way I was brought up, it's always good to acknowledge your ancestors and to kind of acknowledge where you came from, because that's kind of how your personality and stuff comes from. So, Italians are very tight-knit people. We're very accepting, and we're very, very loving and stuff, and love to do the big family dinners, and family does come first. So, and especially on my dad's side, because my dad passed away when I was about 11, 12 years old. And it was very important for him, to remember where he came from and where his, my grandparents came from. Like their heritage was important to them, especially on the Jewish side, just because of everything that happened. It's more of, kind of remembering and acknowledging and, just showing respect and honor to your people.
Yeah, I'm from Poland, so I know what Germans did here in Second World War, so you don't have to tell me. But of course I'm also I think mother of my grandfather, so my grandmother was Russian, so I'm like, okay. I don't know, 25% Russian or
yeah, one of my old supervisors at my old job, she's Russian, and she came for her parents migrated over to the United States when she was like 15 years old, and she was just so funny, like because she was a pharmacist and she spoke English and Russian, and she'd be on the phone in Russian, and I could kind of tell like what she was saying because she was like so sassy, and then like she was just, you would have to know her. She's very, very, very funny.
I think there was this great show. I think this guy is called Trevor Noah, and he talked about different accents. And yeah, I don't know if you have seen it, but it's worth checking out because he's very funny. All right, I see the the clock, so I know your time is running out. All right, let me ask you about your hobbies. Do you even have time for your hobbies?
Trading is mostly one of my hobbies because I enjoy doing it. I don't have to do it for work, but I also enjoy working out. I enjoy traveling. I boxed for 2 years. So I boxed. I did a little bit of MMA, a little bit of grappling, a little bit of kung fu. So when I have free time, I like to just hit the bag. It's been a while though, but I should get back into it.
So you're a dangerous girl.
I could be. I can throw somebody your size over me and probably knock you out if I had to.
Okay, let's say I believe you.
I fight southpaw, so I got a mean left hook.
Yeah, but there is a strength difference between us.
Right, so. But if I get in and I throw that first punch, we might be good. But after that,
yeah.
I better run after that because yeah. But I know how to defend myself.
Yeah,
so.
It's not like I would ever hit a woman because.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for women to know how to defend themselves.
Of course, I completely agree.
And boys too. It's good because there's crazy people. I'm from LA. There's cuckoo people in LA. Let me tell you.
To be honest, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. Uh, I've been leaving the grocery store, and there was a parking lot, and there was this guy. First thing I saw was maybe not small, but she was smaller than me. I don't know, 5'3". Of course, we don't use foots and inches in Poland, so but she was pretty small, and she was running from a huge guy, maybe my size, and the worst thing was that people didn't care. He was starting to, he caught her, and they were a pair, obviously, and they broke up. And then I interfered and said, "All right, listen to me, guy. You cannot hurt her." She immediately hid behind my back, and then I had to call the police because he was aggressive.
Well, good on you for doing that, because a lot of people don't step up. Like I've seen stuff happen in public, and I've even stepped in, like, you know, not recently because I do have a daughter, I have to be careful. But before I had my daughter, I've stepped in a couple physical altercations of people that I've seen on the streets, just because like it's not right, and somebody needs to say something and do something, and not everybody will. So you know.
Of course, there was a older couple. They were entering the car next to them. They pretended that they didn't see them. They didn't see them. They were like 50 centimeters from them.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
That's not okay. Like even if I see something that's weird, like I'll stay in my car. Like if I'm with my kid all the time, I'll call the police. But like I have intervened in things before when I was younger. But now I'm a mom. My first priority is taking care of my daughter. But I will call the police. And I've seen my husband's kind of gone off on people he's seen in public doing stuff like that. You don't do that stuff.
Yeah, we have to interfere because some people may get hurt. And all right. My last question, maybe not last, because I have one special one. What are your plans for the future? Your family, obviously, but what are your crypto plans? Or
I would love to stay in the industry. My channel is really, it's really for people that are not tech savvy. It's really not for people that are currently in the industry now. The way I do things and the way I speak and the way I understand things and explain it, it's for people, it's for brand new people. It's for other soccer moms. It's for people that are not tech savvy. So my YouTube channel, I'm looking at it like 10 years from now, that, once we start seeing more adoption, people will kind of come to my channel. They'll kind of learn about just the basics of stuff, get a handle on it, and then migrate elsewhere if they're ready to. But I'm just your average soccer mom. I'm a mama, I'm a wife, and I'm just your average woman. And most women don't really understand a lot of tech. I mean, right now there's a lot of women in crypto that do, but I'm talking about people I grew up with and people I'm around. Like I come from like the lower middle class. A lot of the people I ran with on the streets and stuff, they don't know about tech, and they don't want to know about tech, but the idea of freedom and the idea of what Bitcoin is sticks out to them, and it's important to them. So I want to be that person to get them involved. So those are my plans, and obviously to do more events and stuff.
I am sure a lot of my subscribers will subscribe to your channel because they love technical analysis, and I don't give it to them.
I'll give you guys all the TA you want.
So remember, hit the subscribe button below, subscribe to Wendy because she is doing great TA.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, last question.
Okay.
I have noticed that you have tattoos on your arms.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, do they mean anything? Do they have any special meanings?
Every single tattoo I have means something. I'm covered. I've got some on my back, my neck, my finger, my ankles, I think, and I want to say my hips. But everything that I have means something. I have, I've got a portrait of my grandma and my grandpa here, and then I have I've got different sayings and whatnot. I have the tattoo on my back, which I won't show, but
obviously.
it says you can take my life, but never my confidence. And that was something I got from my father, because my father trained martial arts. He did kung fu, and it was something I got after he passed away, because my dad was very strict, and he was a very strong man, and he always taught me to stand up for what's right, even if people are going to give you shit about it, even if people are not going to necessarily understand. But he's like, if you believe in something strong enough, you stand up for it, because they can tear you down, they can fight you, they can do everything to you, but they'll never be, just as long as you're confident and you really believe in what you're saying, they can never take that from you. They can never take your confidence, and they can never take away what you feel inside. And I try to live by that and kind of teach that to my daughter as well.
Completely agree. I couldn't say it better myself. So yeah, it's very wise things, because yes, I completely agree. You need to be confident, confident in your abilities, confident in yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just I know a lot of people, like where I'm from, I'm from Southern California. We have tattoos. It's just part of our culture. It's, you know, we're a big mesh. We're like a melting pot of all different ethnicities, all different races, all different everything. So a lot of people, we have, you know, we have tattoos, and that's how we express ourselves. It's part of our culture down here. I know in other places it's not. It's a little bit different, but out in Southern California, it's what we do. And I also grew up around the music industry. I have a lot of friends that are in bands and stuff, and that's just, you know, you drink, you get tattoos, you go support your friends and stuff, and that's what we do. And you know, my husband's Hispanic, and a lot of the Hispanic culture, like if you know you lose somebody that's close to you, you'll get their name tattooed, or you'll get like a saying and whatever, and that's part of their culture. And you know, it's just I'm a blend of from Southern California. It's what we do here.
Yeah, I was going to make it to do myself right there, but I never had enough courage
Yeah,
to do it, because
they hurt, but you know, it's that they're part of me, they're a part of my life, and I wear them with pride.
yeah. All right. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank
Let's say
you.
goodbye to our viewers.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mike, for having me. It was actually a really cool conversation. I don't get to really be as kind of fluid and, you know, free as I was on here, so I appreciate it. It was fun. And you guys, thank you so much for watching this. And if you want to hear what I have to more things I have to say, subscribe to my channel. If not, that is fine too. But again, Mike, thank you.
All right. Thanks so much.